Jason Mitchell, like apparently he lost his opportunity on The Shy and his Netflix deal and his agent at the time and his management and his lawyer because all these allegations that was stemming from 2 seasons of him being on The Shy of sexually harassing Tiffany Boone as well as being like temperamental, like aggressive, tripping the fuck out and shit.
One goal, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. And it's real niggas do real fucking things.
Jason Mitchell is gonna play Sean Bell in the Sean Bell biopic.
So they giving him a shot, huh?
Man, he like, listen, dog, with all this black crimes going on and shit like that, my way into this bitch is to just make a movie about black people struggling.
Yep.
And that's gonna get my way out this sexual allegations, out this dope and coke I had in this car with this pistol, all that shit. Once they see me be Sean Bell, it's over for it. You hear me? I'm back in the game.
We spoke on this.
This is a hustler move.
We spoke on this when he first got in all his fire, and the question was asked, "You think he could come back?" And I said, "Man, with the way the game is set up, it'll be very hard to come back. But the way that you do it is he's gonna have to get the right little independent film fire role. He got to kill that role, and it's gonna have to be critically acclaimed. It's gonna have to be something so undeniable that it just. But he has to wait a minute. And what did he do? The Sean Bell biopic, bro. Sean Bell was one of the first cases I remember like really feeling when I found out about it. You know what I'm saying?
That
Like,
was on his like wedding day, right?
Dude, yeah, son. And he got like 50 shots, man.
Yeah, 50 shots.
Over a phone, son, in New York.
Before alting Sterling, Mike Brown, and Tamir Rice, there was Sean Bell. Back in 2006, the 23-year-old was shot and killed on his wedding by 5 undercover cops in Queens, New York. Despite firing a total of 50 rounds into Bell's car, none of the officers were found guilty of any wrongdoing.
It fucked with me, son. And I always felt like I felt like a movie would come at some point, but in a weird way, like
Not from Jason Mitchell.
I'm not. Well, really, what's funny about that story is he been attached to this film for some years now, so he was technically attached to it before he got into his trouble, and he was supposed to play a cop in the film, but he recently was like, "Let me play Sean Bell," and they let him. And he's been hitting up the family every day to learn to. So he sees the opening that he's about to try to jump to save his motherfucking career.
What I'm going through. Don't know what I'm going through right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cat Operations Manager here. I'm going to ask your cooperation. And just hang tight for just a quick minute. We do have Metro Police on their way. We hope to have this situation resolved shortly. We do appreciate it.
Everybody be like, you know what? Everybody, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make a fucking situation. I'm not. And everybody ain't even finished boarding to go to show you how y'all down bad. And I played my shit right here, and I got my shit. You wanna look at it? I got my shit. I paid my money. So fuck you, pussy. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck everybody who got a problem. Let me off this motherfucker.
We already saw the joint with Michael B. Jordan years ago. That was basically the same premise of us humanizing a black man up until the point of knowing that a cop gonna kill him. What's the difference here?
Is there a difference?
We ain't trying to go to jail, you feel me? We just trying to get home. We just trying to get home. Be cool, man.
Maybe you should have thought about that before you started acting like a punk ass bitch.
Don't call my partner no bitch.
Right? You was a bitch ass nigga, for real.
Did you call me a bitch ass nigga?
Don't fucking say that.
Bitch ass nigga? Huh?
Hey, oh, fuck that, man. Hey, man, what the fuck, man? Ain't do shit. I can't get his fucking arm. Roll over. Get over my hand, man. You shot me, bro. You shot me. I got a daughter.
This is Jason's way to get back in the game. We about to watch another black person get murdered by the cops. We see that shit every day on social media, live in front. We already got a movie about it. This is just a hustle.
Because I say that's what did in Queen and Slim. Most people hated the ending because in our climate, we just get tired of seeing ourselves get murdered by cops. And like I said, the Oscar grant, and the thing I will give them, if you're in Sean Bell's family, of course you want that man's story to be told and created.
Right,
so I understand why they're doing it. But I'm just saying from a business aspect on creativity, is like, man, like, what's my selling point on wanting to see another black man gunned at the end of a movie?
You know he gonna get gunned.
Honestly, dude, I got mixed feelings about the whole thing, really, dude. Like, on one end, like you just say, it is an important story that deserves to be told. You know, even if it is very similar to many stories, you know, it's still their story, and they can tell it. That's rightfully so.
Exactly.
But then on the opposite side of the coin, you know, I can't help but think about Jason Mitchell, and there's a piece of me that feels like it's just a desperate attempt to save your career by trying to pull at people's heartstrings and the fucking emotions. Like, it feels very emotionally manipulative in its way. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
So many people reached out and said they were inspired by what I had to say. Some people shared their stories with me of being in similar situations, and even some people have said, you know what, you're giving me that little push I needed to make a change in my own situation. So, you know, it was a little scary coming out and telling my truth, but I feel like if I could just like affect one person, then it was worth it. And that just came to a point where I just felt like if I didn't speak out, then other people's voices wouldn't be heard. And I'm just not willing to sacrifice my own integrity and my values.
I heard that.
When you say that, you make me wonder, like, is this too easy? Like, I don't want to stop a black man's coin.
Right.
Especially one from New Orleans.
Right.
But on the other end of it, it's like, damn, son, but if you was really doing this fucked up thing, it's like, do we just let you roll back in?
Right.
Nope.
I guess the thing is, at least for me, from my perspective at least, is has he made amends? Has he like reflected on what he's done? And does he know what he's done is wrong? If he has and has admitted it to himself and the people around him realize that, then I say yes, give him another chance. But if he hasn't and he's just trying to, you know, again, like make amends and, you know, save his career.
I totally agree with that. And like the only question I have is like, how do we even quantify whether he's, you know, how much he's, you know, made the amends?
Man, well,
like that.
I would say this. I think what she said is always right.
Yeah.
About if a motherfucker really pay their dues,
If they pay their
make
dues,
amends,
yeah.
seem like they under da-da-da-da-da.
But it takes a long time to do that. And if you're on that caliber, like, I don't know how long he has been. I mean,
I haven't seen him really ever do it yet.
And that's what I'm about to get to, Joe. Because the other thing that we spoke about when we first brought this up was he needs to take time and he needs to get into some rehab. He needs to get into some counseling. He needs to create some, like I said, I was saying,
like fast.
This is quick,
this
so
is quick.
Maybe he has been. We don't know what that man been doing. But the last thing, like Joe said, that we found out was he got arrested for coke and guns, drug and guns possession. So it's like, my G, like that was like just like a couple of months ago.
After facing sexual misconduct allegations just last year and subsequently losing his job on The Chi, the embattled actor is now behind bars on felony charges. Mitchell was arrested in Mississippi on felony weapons and drug charges on Wednesday. According to several reports, the actor was booked in Harrison County Jail and is facing 4 felony charges. 2 felony charges for possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute, plus 2 more felony charges for possession of a weapon by a felon. Apparently, the Straight Outta Compton actor had 2 pounds of marijuana and 1,300 doses of MDMA in his car during a traffic stop. Cops say the weed and ecstasy was packaged in a manner consistent with a mid-level distribution operation. The actor also had a Glock 19 pistol and a Mini Draco AK-47 semi-automatic pistol. However,
on one end, my facetious side is like, well, we see white men get away with the shit all the fucking time, so why not let the black dude get away with it? But the other side of me is like, but shouldn't we want to be better? I don't want to always look at what fucked up white people do and make that the bar of what my fucking standard is.
White people a lot of power.
You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, it's like,
I got mixed feelings.
I got mixed feelings, G, because I don't fuck with that sexual harassment shit. Right. And I told you from jump when this nigga, I felt like he threw his fucking career away because niggas like us that's still grinding, a nigga like me that's like really on the cusp trying to like, I see it like the glass ceiling trying to get in, and bitch, you just walked in that motherfucker, and then to me, from my angle, you didn't really appreciate it in the same way a motherfucker that would have happened. Because the thing is, Jason Mitchell, he had like 1 or 2 years in the game, maybe 3 max, maybe 2 or 3 bookings, and then he got Eazy E and Sword.
Yeah.
They got niggas like me and niggas beyond me that's been in the game 10 years, 15. You know what I mean? And don't get
Really
those
putting
opportunities
hard work
from every angle, theater, film, TV. That's there. Get it in. So when I see anybody get to that degree, black, white, or blue, you feel me? And they just like you having fights in the bar when you supposed to be shooting King Kong. You body slamming women in clubs. You flipping out in airplanes. I'm like, gee. You know how hard it is to attain what you got, bro? I know I can never understand the stresses and the pressures and anxiety it must be to be famous. And I don't know, I can't walk in your shoes. But I'm saying just to take in some perspective on a bigger picture level, son, there's many actors that's not in half that bullshit that you be on, G. And I feel like when the way that he lost all that shit, son, that floored me as a motherfucker that's trying to attain it.
Yeah.
So it's like, to see that, damn, all you got to do is play a black nigga that got shot and all of a sudden your career back.
I don't like it.
It's just like, damn.
I don't like it.
You have been compared to Rita's husband, Tom Hanks. Can you explain
Do you
this?
find me attractive?
How does this come about?
Yeah, Lena Waithe, right? She stops me one day and was like, you know, Jason, you're every man's man. You know what I mean? You're just, you know, you're not too muscular. You're not too this. You're not too that. You're like the black Tom Hanks. And I'm like, I'll take it. You know what I mean? So, James Franco put together this dinner for, you know, a bunch of actors. So I get there and I'm obviously like the last one on the list because I'm like, how did I get in this room? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I get there and I run into Tom and I'm like, you know they say I'm the black Tom Hanks. And he's like, I thought I was the white version of you. I'm like, stop that. I love that guy, man.
Just to take a piece of what you said, dude. Like, they got dudes who really deserve to be in that position. And I'm gonna just say it flat. And this might be an oversimplistic way of saying it or thinking about it, but I just flat out don't like the fact that you got a second chance like that. I think it's too fucking quick. I don't think you deserve it. And I think it's not fair. I think it's host shit. It seems really, really lame. It seems really free and unfair and undeserving.
This kind of goes back.
That could be me. No, I'm sorry.
No, I was just thinking about the conversation we had earlier about how you're saying to get a degree in acting, you don't have to go to school or anything. Like, was he one of those people that did that?
Yeah, he didn't go to school for acting. You know, he did a couple of plays in New Orleans, got an agent. He got a coach and he got an agent. And then from there, like, he showed up one day at the audition call looking like Eazy E and got that role.
But think about it. You say you did some workshops. Do those workshops even like teach you anything but like how to act?
It's the basics.
Yeah, it's not.
I even went to one of the workshops. It's the basics.
It's not a formal acting curriculum.
And that's the thing too. No, but here go the thing. But after he got Eazy E, he got an acting coach. He got the proper training from there. So. And he's a really good actor. He's a really good actor.
Yes,
like,
he has natural talent.
Stuff, son.
He has natural talent.
I'm not
about his skill.
It's not the skill. I'm just talking about. I think
work.
I think when you're like that discipline, you don't get from doing acting in schools and stuff like that. I think that's, remember how we were like, we're not sure, like. And
then going from the schools to taking it to the professional level, and then having to grind outside of school, outside of a safety net, and that's all you really, you know what I mean?
Like really feeling that pressure.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a certain caliber, a certain character you develop by going into it as an acting like degree versus just going in like what he did. And
I'm not even gonna say just a degree. I want to piggyback off what you're saying. There's just a certain caliber of appreciation that comes when you've had to grind for it.
Yeah.
Whether you got the degree or not, because they got some people that didn't get a degree, but they still put like 10 years in. They still got trained in other places. They worked. Dues was paid. You feel me? So it was like they gonna get that and be like, man, look, what I had to fucking do.
Shit. Especially since you didn't go to the degree route.
Right.
Boy, it was a much harder route because I didn't have no like straight curriculum that put me in a place. I had to find this shit for real out the mud.
Because a lot of
I had to trust in a bunch of sketchy ass niggas who don't know shit about acting and go to their classes and figure out which classes even is gonna work for me. I had to go do this and that and the third.
Because a lot of our friends without degrees have expressed to me that they don't have some of the confidence we be having, because we was able to get a lot of confidence by being in plays and doing things. Because like I said, I had no insecurities about my acting ability. I had insecurity about the business. I didn't understand the business. I wish I was more prepared for that. But when I got out, I'm like, let's act, motherfuckers. But they got mofos, like I said, that didn't get a degree that felt like, well, I don't even know if I can really even act because no one gave me any validation. So it can be harder for them that put it in. But as long as you put in that work, I'm going to respect you in a different way.
As long as you put your 10,000 hours in.
I remember the night that we got back from off like the European press tour, I stopped to see my manager and his family and stuff in New York. And I took this walk at like 3 o'clock in the morning to Times Square and just stared at this billboard, and I'm like, this is incredible. You know, like, this is really strange that it's like me lighting up on this board. But I still didn't feel different yet, right? So I fly to New Orleans, which is my hometown, and literally the first gas station I get out at, there's like 30 or 40 people just like taking pictures, hugging me, and it was just incredible, you know, and to know that I was that type of inspiration, and people like were waiting on that moment as much as I was, you know, that it did it for me. So I needed like nothing else, you know. I don't need a vacation, I don't need none of that. Like this hug that I got from my city was just so, like, the ultimate. So I'm cool.
Now, I won't disrespect all the work he put in after getting on. It has been like a quick career, maybe 3 to 4 years, but it's still like that man been killing every role he been in. I won't hate on none of that, but I will agree with everything y'all said on the level up. Now, there's a certain thing that may have been missing on the grind up that just like some things in the head, some tools in the box that if you would have had, it might have made him a little bit more equipped to not fuck it up in the manner that he did. And that just makes it so much more frustrating to see, like, damn, on the horizon, you might get it back. Like, are you gonna learn from this? Have you learned from this for real? Because they about to just give it back to you like they do the white men.
One goal, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. And it's real niggas do real fucking things.